Welcome to Masters at Wagtail with another fantastic tip. Now, I've mentioned before about some rinse bars that I'll be making a whole bunch of. You could purchase them if you like through me. Just private message me or comment below, and I'll tell you how to get these rinse bars to add to your wagtails. You'll be only able to get these from me. You won't be able to source them out anywhere else, at least not right now. All right, so let me turn on so you can see. I got my remote. Oh, I forgot to plug it in. All right, for those in my Facebook group, and yes, for those who don't know, I have a Facebook group. So for those who are in my Facebook group who are working with by means of spray nozzle to your wagtail, Johnny, Jeff, and particularly, well, Johnny, it may exclude him. Johnny's set in his ways. He's got his own way. Jeff is on the fence. He doesn't know whether or not to have an over-the-top rinse bar or underneath rinse bar. Well, I would have to say depends on what kind of job you're doing and depends on how you're using the rinse bar. Is it pure water or is it route work, trad work? And if you're going to have soap in the line, then I would say it really doesn't matter. It also matters what tool. What I mean by it doesn't matter, it just means more of a preference. I would say if you have to use a high flyer, I would say over the top. Here's the reason why. When you're mopping, right, you're going up and down, right? You don't want that water going down because that means it's going to run down this way. Gravity's going to pull that water down. If you have the rinse bar underneath, if you have it over the top, it'll always be above the mop. Even if you're going up and down, all that water that's shooting onto the glass will still get on the mop that way. That's why I say over the top is good for that. Now, when you're going pure water, I would have to say both, but maybe not so much on the bottom and more on the top. What I mean by having more water shooting out on the top than you do on the bottom. If you don't want to have it underneath, you could do like I do and just have it shooting out on the top. So here's what I suggest. If you have my rinse bar or any one set up like that, you could, look, you see, have it underneath, right? You can have it, the angle, let me adjust it. You can have the angle however where you want it to hit the glass. You feel me? Now, if you want it over the top, then you would just turn these and shoot it over the top. All right? I didn't do it far enough. But y'all get the general idea. Now you got it over the top, right? So there's your solution to if you're on the fence about having it on the top or on the bottom. On the top with the high flyer, it's a definite must. Trust me. I've been using this tool and working this way for a long time. You're going to want to have it shooting over the top. Now, if you have a one pass, you might want to have it shooting under the bottom. For sure. Slipstream, power pivot, combi, all of them, you want it down on the bottom. Here's why. The pad is not on the top like the high flyer, right? So the rubber is going to be on the top the way the squeegee is. Now the pad is right directly under the rubber. So in order to get that saturated, you would either have to mod a line separate from this if you're not going to go this style. Johnny does his different. He runs a tube along his pad, right? That's one way you could do it. I know you've seen a rinse bar that I've made. It's made out of aluminum, and it has tiny holes, almost like a Reach It rinse bar, but it's modded specifically for the Wagtail. That one extremely works good because it's very low profile and you hardly even notice it if you're using 1/4 inch tubing like I've done. I have another tool. Some of you have seen it. It's a blue Wagtail. It's a blue orbital Wagtail, water fed, and it is underneath. Now I'm not going to show y'all that because that's my own beast of a personal mod machine. All right, I'm sharing this with y'all because if you wanted to step your game up, then you're going to need one of those. And trust me, it will save a whole heap of amount of time if you work the way I work. But if not, then just, hey, keep doing what you're doing. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. But if you want to stick and move, then stick and move, baby. But that's today's little tip. Over the top, underneath. There's your solution to on the fence, Jeff. Having a rinse bar like that, you could shoot it wherever way you want. And depending on, like I said, depending on what tool you're using, if it's a one pass, you want to have it underneath. If it's any other tool, like let's say a Slipstream Plus, for those who don't know what a Slipstream Plus is, it's the actual power pivot with Willie's blue pad, one pass pad, and the microfiber pad. That's in order to have extra water if needed. All right, that could go either way because you have a pad that you'll be able to shoot over the top to soak up the water. And if you didn't want to do that, you could use the one pass sponge and eliminate the pad and only use it when you need to. But that's pretty much it. Without that pad, if you have a pad, a microfiber pad in general, you might want to have it over the top, or you can have it underneath, but I prefer over the top. If you have a power pivot, a one pass, or anything with a Willie's pad on there, you might want to have it underneath. High flyer, over the top for sure. Underneath, you would really have to turn this upside down in order to get the mop wet. But then again, what's the sense of that? Why not just have it on the top if you're gonna go twisting all that and doing all that crazy stuff? But this is Masters at Wagtail. Bam!